Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Soshtvi and today we're doing a super exciting video. We're doing a video that I honestly love watching on YouTube and I'm super excited to be doing one of my own. Third time this year, so I think it's safe to say it's the last one for the year because I've been buying too many books. As the title says, this is of course a book haul video. And I have a lot of books, like, oh god. That's a lot of books. How many are these? 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's a lot for me. Some of these books I've already shown in videos before. I just want to haul them here because I haven't hauled them before. But most of these are books that I bought recently. A lot of these are actually second-hand books, which is very exciting. I love second-hand books. There's something about the idea of these books getting a renewed life that I just really like. Lots of exciting books. A lot of books that I have been dying to read, to be honest, and I was very mindful while shopping. It seems like a lot of books, but I was very mindful when I was buying these books. I only wanted to get books that were on my immediate radar. There were lots of books I've seen online and I've been curious about, but I stuck to buying the books that I was genuinely wanting to read within the next few months. So let's get into the haul. The first two books I want to talk about quickly are books that I read in a reading vlog recently. They are books by Karen and McManus, We Have Nothing More to Tell, and Such Charming Liars. This is a new release. It released a month ago. I love the One of Us is Lying trilogy by her. She writes young adult mysteries and super fun ones at that. Ever since I read One of Us is Lying, I've been trying to get through all her other books as well. So I posted a cozy reading vlog. It will be linked down below if you want to check it out, where I read both these books. This one is about a girl who's going back to her hometown after many years, and in that hometown a murder had been committed of her favorite teacher. 3 of her own schoolmates had found the body of that teacher, and she believes that maybe one of them, maybe all of them could be involved in the murder of this teacher. She's working for a true crime podcast, so she starts investigating this case for it. And this one is a little complicated, very different kind of a premise. It's about Kat, who's the daughter of a jewel thief, and Liam, who's the son of a con man. And their parents, like some 10 years ago, were married in Vegas for like 24 hours and then got divorced. And now all these years later, these two come across each other at this like very rich billionaire's estate for a function, and their parents are there to carry out their own skeevy little schemes, and these two get caught up in that, and that's the plot of it. I personally did not enjoy this a lot. I definitely prefer this one over this, but yeah, that's what these are, getting them out of the way. And two other books I want to quickly mention are Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. Again, have a reading vlog dedicated to just these two books where I discuss both of these in their spoilerful glory. But if you've somehow missed out on what these books are because they have been very popular, it's a young adult fantasy, and basically in this world there are gods that exist or used to exist, and 2 of them have come back to life and are at war with each other, and they recruit humans to fight for them. And Iris and Roman are 2 journalists who get caught up in this war, writing about this war, and it's a rivals to lovers. They're connected through a little bit of magic of their own, and we follow the war, we follow them in this war. Very interesting, very beautifully written, very enjoyable. I highly enjoyed both these books. I would recommend these as well. Now moving on to books that I got just recently, and I haven't read any of them. I'm looking forward to all of them. Let's get into it. First, I have If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. Now this I've been looking forward to for a while now. I haven't read a lot of dark academia, but I've always been interested by it, and I read A Study in Drowning recently, like a few months ago. Super compelling story, and I've been seeing a lot of hype around this one as well. A lot of people enjoy it. People usually recommend this one to start with for dark academia, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's a little hard to describe what the book is about, so I'm just gonna read this for you. Oliver Marks has just served 10 years for a murder he may or may not have committed. On the day of his release, he is greeted by the detective who put him in prison. Detective Colborne is retiring, and he wants to know what really happened a decade before. As a young actor at an elite conservatory, Oliver noticed that his talented classmates seemed to play the same characters on stage and off: villain, hero, temptress, though he was always a supporting role. But when the teachers change the casting, a good-natured rivalry turns ugly, and the plays spill dangerously over into real life. When tragedy strikes, one of the 7 friends is found dead. The rest face their greatest acting challenge yet: convincing the police and themselves that they are blameless. And I think it's woven with a lot of Shakespeare in here. I've read quite a bit of Shakespeare myself. I was an ICSE kid. If you know, you know. Excited to get to this. Really looking forward to this one. Next, I have Circe by Madeline Miller. Now, I read The Song of Achilles a couple of months ago. I love that book. I would highly recommend. It's a Greek mythology retelling about Achilles and Patroclus. And this one is about Circe. And I've heard a lot of people say that this one is better than The Song of Achilles, which I am super excited to hear about. This is again a Greek mythology retelling, and oh, it says here they were shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction in 2019. Interesting. Again, another one I'm looking forward to getting to very soon. And if you guys have been watching my channel lately, you would know that I got into Jennifer Lynn Barnes books recently in this year. I read the Inheritance Games trilogy and the Brothers Hawthorne. Quite enjoyed those books. And a lot of people came and told me that if I liked those books, I would love these, the Natural series. I found the first book, it's a second-hand copy, but I'm so glad that I found a second-hand copy of this, because this particular copy, there's I believe 4 books in the series, and the first one has been super expensive online, at least here in India. The others not so much, but this one particularly for some reason. So I'm glad I found this second hand, because now I can finally start the series instead of waiting for the price to go down. Here it is. Everyone tells me that I will like this better, that I will prefer this, so looking forward to see if that's true. And then I got another mystery, which is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. Now I already have another book by Lisa Jewell which I haven't read yet. I'm hoping to get to it this year, like that's the goal. By the end of the year I have to get to it. This is an author I've been wanting to read for a while now. I don't know why I'm not picking it up, I keep pushing it off, but I really want to get to both these books soon, especially this one. I heard all the hype about this one, like so much I've heard about this one, and the premise sounds very interesting. It's about these 2 women who share the same birthday, and they decide to do a podcast together, an episode of a podcast together, and some sinister things start happening. I don't know, it just sounded really intriguing, and everyone and their mom like loves this book, so I've been very intrigued. Can't wait to find out. And then I found a classic that I've been wanting to get to for a while now. I've mentioned this earlier, but a goal of mine this year has been to get back into reading classics. I read quite a few of them back when I was in school, but I haven't touched one ever since then. So it's been a goal of mine to get back into them slowly and ease myself back into it. I'm currently reading Rebecca. When I found this one, I was like, I have to pick it up. And that is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This is one classic that I did not read back in school. Never read this before, didn't watch the movie either. So I'm excited to both read the book and watch the movie. It's also a lot thinner than I expected. I think it'll be pretty easy to fly through this. The next book is by this author who's been all the rage recently, and I've fallen into the trap of wanting to read all her books because of it. I found one of her books which was the latest release this year and got super excited about it, picked it up. And once I bought it, I realized that this is apparently part of like a series. Like you can read them all on their own, but characters of the other books also come into the story of this one. And I would prefer to read them in the series. I think I'm gonna hold off on this and wait for the first book now, because the first book is really expensive right now. I can't buy it right now. It's like very expensive. But hopefully I get to it soon. If it takes too much time for the price to drop, I might just start with this itself. But anyway, the book that I'm talking about is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Everyone knows this book. You already know this book. You've probably already read this book. Can't wait to find out what all the hype is about. And the premise just sounds so interesting. The premise is basically that the 2 people in this book, Emma and Justin, I guess. All the people that they date end up finding their soulmates after they break up with them. And they feel like they're cursed because of it. And they decide to like date each other or fake date each other to like break the curses off or like cancel the curses. As a premise, it sounds pretty quirky, but because of everything that I'm hearing about how it's really deep and emotional and well written, I have high hopes, not gonna lie, very high hopes. So let's see how this will turn out. The next book I picked up was honestly a book I wasn't initially interested in. It was all the rage last year. People have been loving it this year as well. I was just never interested until the hype just got so much, and I read a couple of quotes from the book that really called to me. So I was like, you know what, I think I should give it a chance because everyone seems to love this book. I haven't seen a single person say they didn't like this book. So I thought I should like give this a chance myself. And that is A 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston or Poston. I've heard people say both ways. This is a romance again. I think it's about a time traveling apartment. There's a girl who moves into an apartment and there's a man living there, except he's from 7 years in the past, and I think he's a chef or something to do with cooking. That's all I know about it. Ever since I read those quotes, I'm a lot more interested to know what this is about. So I think I might get to this month itself, but we'll see. And then the last two books I found are books again I have been looking forward to reading for a while now, because there's a show about this on Netflix, a very popular show that I wanted to watch, but I wanted to get to the books first. But the books are so expensive. The first book, again, for some reason, the first book especially is very expensive. So I was waiting for the right time to buy them, and then I found secondhand copies of the first two books in the series. I wish I found all of them, but it's okay, I'll take what I can get. So I found cheap secondhand copies of Heartstopper Volume 1 and Volume 2. I've been dying to get to these because everyone seems to love it. And these are also graphic novels. I've never read graphic novels before. This will be my first time actually. I'm so glad I finally got the chance to purchase these, and hopefully I'll be able to get the rest of the series soon as well. So those are all the books that I got recently. Like I said, I am very excited to read all of them. I'm almost not able to decide which one I want to read first because they all sound so inviting. Hopefully this month's wrap up, you will see all of these in there. A little ambitious, but a girl can dream, right? Those are all the books I bought recently. Let me know if you've been buying some interesting books recently. Recommend some to me because I would love for my TBR to just get longer and longer and longer all the fucking time. Yeah, that's all I had to show to you guys. Let me know if you've read any of these and if you have any idea of which ones I should start with. Any favorites, let me know. So with that, we come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram, linked below. Follow me on Fable, Storygraph, all the good stuff. Everything's linked below. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time.